What is happening, guys? Mike here. Welcome back to the channel for an all-new review. Today's review is a brand made by a YouTuber, and I'm glad I'm getting the chance to tackle this because I kind of feel like YouTuber brands or products made by YouTubers have sort of been judged harshly in the past. And I'm not throwing shade at anyone in particular, so don't get all excited. I'm not causing a controversy or anything. But I do think in some cases it's been harsh, and in some cases it's been right. You know, it is right to judge them when you got creators saying their products are the best thing on the planet and things like that. But I don't agree that we should judge every product made by a creator on YouTube as harshly as the ones that give us reasons to judge them. I mean, does that make any kind of sense? I hope so. If not, I'm moving on anyway. I think they should be given the same opportunity that any brand that we review here would be given. And that's what I'm doing here today. So I'm offering you guys my opinion on the products of Hudson Mane. Alright, so let's just jump straight into this here. We've got a lot to cover. This is a lab-made brand that was created by the creator of Teachingmensfashion, which I'm pretty sure all of you know by now. It's a pretty big channel. I do have to admit though, and again, this isn't meant to be negative, but I don't think I've ever seen any video on his channel. I've heard of it obviously, but I've just never watched any of his videos. So no, the dude from that channel didn't hit me up and ask for my help here. I'm sure he doesn't even have any idea who I am. I've never actually talked to him, so I'm not here to just promote them. I'm here to give them the same look that I'd give any other brand that comes across my desk. And today we are covering the entire line. We've got a cleansing duo, a styling clay, a matte pomade, and a shaping paste. Starting first with the cleansing duo, and within that, let's go to the shampoo. Now, they are both activated charcoal cleansers, but the shampoo specifically is infused with provitamins, plant proteins, and essential oils that boost moisture retention. That charcoal also helps things by purifying and soothing the scalp and, of course, the hair. The conditioner, of course, nourishes the hair and is infused with marine extracts and vitamins to promote thick and overall healthy hair. Now, because we got a limited amount of time and a lot to cover, I'm just going to keep moving. I will have final thoughts at the end, but let's jump into the stylers here, starting first with the matte pomade. According to the brand, this is a water-based texture-rich pomade that offers a medium hold and a matte finish. It's designed to sharpen details, and it comes in a 2-ounce jar for $17.99. Looking inside the jar here, the product looks and feels very smooth, but it's still got a bit of thickness to it coming out of the jar. It's almost actually kind of spongy, but it breaks down very easily and very creamy. Moving right along here into the demo, I'm starting with dry hair and no extras as usual, no pre-stylers, anything like that. I'm using just a couple of scoops here, and overall it's applying very easily, but there's obviously an elephant in the studio here, and that's the shine. I know, I see it too. We will have to keep an eye on that, but I can tell you it's very slick, and the combing is the same way. It's just very easy to style with, very easy to shape, and there's really not much else to say. In no time at all, I got me here a pretty good final style. Now let's shift over to the endurance here, and since we still got two other products to jump into, I'm just gonna go straight to the end and show you 8 hours in. What we got here is honestly not too bad. It's not terrible, but that shine is still there. It's still hanging around, and obviously the volume is a bit low, but for 8 hours, this really isn't as bad as it could be, minus that shine, of course. Now though, let's shift over to the styling clay, and this is described as a versatile water-soluble clay. I guess we could call it wax-based if we really want to get technical, but that honestly sounds stupid to me every time I see it. I'll show you the ingredients in the next step and you'll know what I'm talking about. But this here offers a firm hold with a matte finish and the same size and price as its partner in crime there that we just saw. Looking inside the jar on this one, we got a pretty typical clay, or what we would expect out of a clay of this type, but this one's got some serious thickness to it. It's not a knuckle buster, but it is close. When it's in the hand though, it's actually smooth sailing, so I think that's a positive. Moving right along into the demo, we're rolling again with the same hair as the last one. Fresh, blow-dried hair, no extras, and it's actually quite easy to apply. I've got to say that thickness does not make it hard to apply, which is a solid plus. Also, once again, here it's not the lights. This one does have a fair bit of shine to it, and also just like the matte pomade, this one has a pretty easy style to it. It's a bit light on volume, but overall, I have to say it was extremely easy, and it for sure came across to me as a self-styler with a killer end result. Again, moving right into the 8-hour test result here, we do see that this one had some redemption in the shine department, and it actually lifted to reveal that nice dry matte finish. In the process though, it also became very lightweight, and I think that led to some volume loss, and you can kind of see it pretty easily there, especially in the front. But overall, that's not too bad. Again, it is 8 hours in, but we do also have one more product to look at, so I'm gonna keep this moving here. Lastly, we do have the shaping paste, which according to the brand again is a thick, rich formula that provides total control through a medium hold and a matte finish. Once again, it's also the same size and price as the rest of the line. Looking inside the jar on this one, we got something pretty similar to the matte pomade. It's pretty close feeling wise actually, but I think this is a bit thicker. It's also kind of waxier as well, but getting into the hand and beginning to break it down makes it nice and soft so you can spread it around and prep for that awesome style. Speaking of that style though, let's see this in action. We're going with the same hair as the other two demos. I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over here, but applying this is just cake. Once again, I'm sorry for repeating myself, but that's what I see here. It's so slick that applying it gives me zero trouble. I will say though that in this stage, I really think this has more hold than a medium. I'm really seeing a great helping of hold here, and I think it's providing me some killer support in the style department, and it's making it super easy to achieve my usual style. Moving right along here into our end of day results, I think this one we can easily see some of the style has deflated a bit. It actually, I think, lasted a good 6 hours and then began kind of going down, and really that's a pretty good hang time if you ask me. The finish is also pretty nice, and overall the texture is still there, which for me speaks volumes. Huh? You get it? Speaks volumes. Little hair pun there. Gotta sprinkle in some fun here and there when we're talking shop. But anyway, that was a lot. I'm glad we powered through it. We got all the way through all the products. I know we moved a little fast there, but now let's talk scents. This really was the easy part for me because I love the scents. I actually think I'm pretty sure they're all the same. It's fresh, it's light, it's a cologne type scent. I mean, I'd really be surprised if they're not all the same, and it's actually a quite addicting scent. It's really nice. I think it was a great choice. The washout here, though, was fairly easy to describe. The styling clay and the shaping paste came out with just water. That's pretty easy to describe. Just water. The matte pomade, though, I say pretty much came out with just water. I felt a little bit of that shine, a little gleam there kind of remained after the water rinse, but overall it really wasn't that big a deal because shampoo pulled it right out with no problem. As far as the cleansers go, I think they work very well. They clean very nicely. They make the hair feel nice and soft. I really don't see anything wrong with them, if I'm being honest. I'd say compared to others we have looked at, because I know, you know, pretty much what you're all probably thinking, how do they, you know, scale up to the others we've explored here? I would have to say that for softness, if I were to put them on a scale, I'd say the Salon Guys Pure set is probably a bit softer, but I'd say that they work just as good as any other charcoal cleanser I've tried, like the Groomed Manco, for example. I say they work just as good as that, so hopefully that gives you kind of an idea. Moving over here, though, to the matte pomade, I think the only fault there that maybe I could see, maybe a piece of criticism, was that finish. I definitely saw some shine there all day long, so that was kind of a buzzkill for me on this one. I do think overall it was easy to style with, and it had a pretty decent hold, and it produced a nice looking style, but I really just would have liked to see the matte in the matte pomade. I would have just liked to see the matte. Moving over though to the styling clay, I thought this was pretty nice. I liked that it was thick because it lended some really great control. I'd have to say it kind of reminded me a little bit of Cavalier clay with a little bit less volume. There's also some other differences there, so I would not say they're directly comparable. You know, I hate comparisons, but you know, for mental picture's sake, that's how I would describe it. I think this one will work great, obviously, for my fellow thick-haired brethren. I think that volume is probably the only piece of criticism criticism I have for it. Other than that, I was pretty happy with the results. Lastly though, we do have the shaping paste. I think this one was easily my favorite out of the three. It says a medium hold, but I'd actually rate it a bit higher than a medium. I think it has a good helping of hold there. And it's got that slick pasty application in the beginning that makes it slow slick. It makes it so slick and easy to style with. And then it actually did shift to a matte finish there later in the day, and I know exactly what you're thinking. No, it's not comparable to pregame. No, it's not comparable to something that shifts. A lot of things shift. It doesn't make them comparable. And the biggest difference that I saw here with this one versus others that shift was how quickly it did shift. I mean, it was like 10 minutes after I applied it, which, you know, there's others that shift quickly too, but there's also a lot of differences there. We could go on for another hour between differences, but that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to talk to you about this. If I am being super picky with the shaping paste though, if I'm being just super picky on it, the volume was a tiny bit low. But overall, I think it did very well. And again, this one was probably my favorite out of the three stylers. In the end here, I think this brand graded pretty decently. And actually, I think I might use them in another video. I've got an idea that I think this line might work nicely for because it's different than the other brands that we're usually talking about. And I kind of want to break it up a little bit. But just like a lot of other brands out there that we have looked at here in the past on the channel, there are things that are worthy of criticism and things that are worthy of compliment. And all in all, I'd say this brand deserves a seat at the table with the other brands that everybody likes, especially for these cleansers and that shaping paste. I really like this shaping paste actually. So if you'd like to check out Hudson Mane, there is a link in the description there along with a coupon code there to save you 20% on your next order. That is pretty much it though for today. And if you guys enjoyed this review, I'd love it if you would tap that like button for me, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Take it easy. I'll see you next time.